Hello y'all and welcome back, survivors. We are late in the game playing Stranded Deep, here to finally take a look at the LITg Fleet. It has been way too long since our last video, and I just want to say thank you for all of your patience and understanding during this time. I have finally fixed my computer, launched Stranded Deep, just to find out that the new updates have completely wiped out all of my save files. 511 hours of playtime. Go on. A little demoralizing to say the least. Luckily, I did have a few recordings of the fleet and was able to splice these together to make the video you were about to watch. I go through these pretty fast as I had no choice with the clips that I had. It's not the quality you guys deserve, but it does serve its purpose. I have included blueprints of the rafts in this video as well, and I do hope that this helps with understanding how to build each raft, and I'll also upload these blueprints to Discord if anybody would like to save them for future reference. But without further ado, let's take a look at my favorite rafts. Alright, first off, we're going to start with something simple here, guys, and due to its simplicity, I'm pretty sure many of you have overlooked this very useful little raft that I like to call the jet ski. Now, this thing is great for quick trips in between islands or your outposts just to grab a few things, or even more useful to scout out surrounding islands. That way we can expand our world map, have a better idea of where to, bring a large resource collecting raft so we don't waste too much time. I will say that without the motor on the jet ski, it does lose way too much of its speed to be useful, so I can't say it's a beginner's raft, because you do need the motor for this thing to actually be of use. But you be the judge, still a cool little raft here. Alright, to build the jet ski, we're going to lay down one single raft section, that's a base and a raft floor, followed by an anchor, a motor, and a sail. It's always a good idea to have a sail just in case we do run out of fuel. And of course we can use the raft motor, it doubles as a rudder. Alright, now that we have scouted out an area with the jet ski and found a new island to ravage of its resources, we do need something a bit bigger to bring it all back, and that is where the cargo ship dock on holiday comes into play. As you can see, it is not your first raft build. This beast is what I use to move an entire outpost to a new location, or to bring back a island's worth of resources for crafting a building. We have 12 crate racks on this monster, each with 3 crates, giving us a total of 36 available. Each crate has 5 item slots in it now, thanks to the update. That lets us hold 4 on average of most items, so that gives us 720 total items. Not excessive at all if you ask me. Now the dock is pretty fast, considering its size, but it's not exactly what I call a nimble raft. Even if you do use the sails and the rudder, which is, a little bit better when it comes to turning, but you lose all of that speed. So really, it's a double-edged sword either way you look at it, but I kind of consider this a point-and-shoot raft. It's meant for storage, nothing else. So to build the dock on holiday, you're going to harvest raft materials till you want to uninstall the game, or if you're on PC, just cheat. But that's not really that much fun, right? You are going to need a lot of materials to complete this raft, so it's about a day 100 build, I'd say. In any case, you're going to lay down a 3x2 main deck here, and add 2 of these 2x3 raft extensions, leaving the center completely empty. On the main deck, we have 4 sails here on each corner. We have a canopy right above our rudder, which is always nice for the sun. A raft motor, of course, and an anchor. And all of my rafts, I like to put a little light if you can spare the resources. Okay, well, I can see how the dock might be a little big for either beginners or if it's your second run through and you just tied up materials, but you still want to transport a good amount of stuff. I do suggest the raft from our beginner's raft build guide, whatever the hell I ended up calling it. It's a simple 3x3 here with the center left exposed. That way we can put 7 containers down in here if you don't have the materials to make a container shelf. Of course, if you have a container shelf, you could just litter this thing with container shelves, and then I'll give you a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you take this one out. So that'll give you half of the available of the dock on holiday. So that is not bad at all. What is that, 720? So that leaves us 360 for this if you fill it up with crates. And I have filled it up with crate racks and crates, and it does not sink. The other thing you can use this for is for bringing either those storage shipping container walls or some sharks back. This thing is very buoyant for being just a simple 3x3 raft. But it just has a canopy with a rudder, an engine, of course, like all of my rafts, a anchor here, a sail, and a hook and lantern. And next up we have the fishing rafts, which I love to use. Very fun to take these out and do some deep sea fishing or maybe even a little shark hunting. Now the Lil Fisher here is a beginner's version of our fish trawler right over there. It's a very simple cross design that definitely gets the job done. Now the cool aspect about this is there's no rudder that's needed to direct or steer the raft. We have 4 sails here in each direction. That way if we want to go in any of these 8 directions, we can. So if we want to go to the side here, there we are. If we want to go forward, we'll call that forward. Or if we want to go on a diagonal, we just have to raise both of them up and now we're going on a diagonal. So pretty cool, versatile little raft. But it's really not meant for sailing too much. I just like the design of it. You could of course add a rudder. Right here in the center we have a container shelf with our little catch tray here, our fish gear, and our navigation and rations, because it's always just a good idea. You could of course switch these up. But this is really nice to be able to just come out here, and that way we can get the big cod. And we can either jump right on in and risk a shark attack, which doesn't look like anything's alive in this ocean right now. That's weird. Or we can of course fish with our fishing pole. Now I wouldn't suggest doing too much shark hunting on the Lil Fisher here, because it unfortunately doesn't like the weight of the shark. So more for just doing some fishing for cod out here on the edge of the reef, or spear fishing. Alright, and here we have the day 100 version, of course. This is the fish trawler, and I would love personally to see, you know, either some nets or some pole holders, that way we can actually troll for fish in this thing. That'd be super cool. I don't care if it costs 100 rope, it would totally be worth it. What do you guys want to see added to the game? Let us know. Maybe we can bug the devs until they actually put it in the game. Now the trawler is extremely nimble, provided that you can run fast enough to hoist or lower a sail. Just like the Lil Fisher, we can move in those 8 directions. But that's not what makes this a great fishing vessel. This inner cutout here is what makes this a great fishing vessel. This really comes in handy when you're shark hunting, because it just gives you that extra porthole for either throwing a spear at a shark, or if you're getting chased by a shark, you can always come, you know, you have another entry point into your raft, which is just another safety measure here. But the cool thing is if you do miss on this side, for instance, and the shark is coming this way and you just miss and you hit your raft instead, you don't lose your spear, which is just a cool little function. If you try to fire them over here and of course you miss, you're never finding that spear again. It is in the abyss. Now we can hold sharks on here to get them back. Of course it is a little difficult now since the update, unfortunately. You kind of have to lay the shark right here across this this cross section here and try to balance him to get him back to shore. So this might not be a viable option anymore, just because that gets really annoying. You can bring them back to shore, it just gets annoying. So of course we have 4 crate racks here in the corner. That's for all of our fishing stuff. We have 4 of these catch trays on the other side, 4 of those. And 1 over here. We have our spears, our pole and bobbers. Then of course we have weapons, our rations and water, or navigation, lighting, and all that good stuff. So in the 4 crate racks that we do have navigation, water, our general land weapons. You know, we never know if we're going to decide to take this on a journey. It is still a good raft for that. And you can add more crate racks too, and this thing is still really buoyant. So pretty versatile in my eyes, and just a pretty cool looking design. I really like the look and feel of this raft. Alright y'all, to build the trawler, you're going to start with a single raft base here in the back. Then you're going to center 5 raft bases off of that. On row 3, you're going to leave the center open, and this is where you want to either add a rudder or an anchor or whatever you want to add in these inner parts. You have to do it as you're building, because once you add these 3 sections here, it doesn't want to let you build in this open section anymore. Don't ask me why. So after you make that choice, you're going to add 3 more off to each side, skipping the center of course. And once again, you're going to skip 1 raft base and put another 3 off to each side. And then you're just going to mirror it all the way back. That way we get this sort of a circle design here. And the 4 sails we're going to add into these far corners of the raft, or the ends, I guess you would say. They're not really corners. Our 4 canopies are going to be in the innermost part of this cutout, and our crate racks are centered off of rows, row 2, depending on what side you're going off of here. And we have some hook-in lanterns scattered about for nice lighting during the night. And here we are finally to revel in the grace, no, the beauty, no, the utility of the raft known as the Bermuda, my all-time personal favorite. What makes this raft the all-time powerhouse in Stranded Deep in my eyes is that it incorporates 3 of the really essential rafts. We have the Dock on Holiday, which is our cargo container, the Fish Trawler, which gives us an edge on sea life, especially those boss fights, by the way, and a barge. That way we can actually fit a sea container side, some sharks, or even our gyrocopter on this. Honestly, since creating the Bermuda, I've had no use of any other designs in Stranded Deep. I mean, we can happily transport a ridiculous amount of resources quickly inside of these 24 crates here. We can fish through this cool little T-spot right here, or battle the Megalodon, the squid, or the eel a little easier, more so for the Megalodon. And the sea containers and gyrocopter fit right up here, rebuoyancing our raft. If we take a look at the overall shape, you'll see what I mean here. Now, as you can see, most of the weight is in the back of the raft because of the containers, and the front is kind of lifting up, so whatever we add right here is going to buoyance out the raft, is going to help level off the raft. So if we run over here, grab our gyrocopter, we're just going to fly it on over there and I'll show you guys what I mean. So if we park the gyro right here, you can see that it's super stable. The raft doesn't mind it at all, and even if we use the motor, oh, I got my anchor on. Even if we use the motor and it's stormy weather, this thing is stable. I've never had an issue with it. Very, very, very cool. Because I hated using that little barge here. This little, what is it, a 5x3 we made. That thing was just horrible. Getting the gyrocopter centered onto that little barge right there, yeah, it was a 3x4, was just horrible. I hated it. But now with the Bermuda, I can take whatever I want, wherever I want. So to build the Bermuda, we were going to start with a simple 3-row triangle design with 5 segments, 3 segments, and 1 segment here. Now before continuing, we do need to add the rudder in the center. Then we can add 2 3-segment wings, I guess, off to each side there. Again, before continuing, we need to add that anchor and motor. That way we can enclose this without having any issues with the building mechanics. Then we can add these other 2 segments off to each side. And finally, in the back, a 5 raft segment linking the 2. That way we get this little T cut out and our bases are done. So we're going to add floors to all of those, of course. Then we can add a sail at the very front of our raft, then skip a row. We're going to add 2 more off to the very sides of those. We're going to skip a row and then add another sail directly behind those first sails. That way we can fit our crates around instead. We get a better open view that way. We have 3 canopies, each one over either the rudder, anchor, and the motor here. Really kind of just makes it, nice. Kind of cleans up the empty space of the raft here. And our crate racks. So you're going to add 4 crate racks to the back, leaving the center for a hook and lantern. That way we can see these in the night, see the names on our crates. Then you're going to add on these side wings here 2 more crate racks to either side with a hook and lantern right here off of each canopy. And 1 more hook and lantern right in the front. That way we get a nice light shining in the dark. It's always nice. So if you couldn't understand a thing that I was saying, please do check out the blueprints that I'm putting on screen in post here. They're probably going to be a little bit more helpful than what I am spurting out. So what I'd love for y'all to do now is to visit our Discord page and submit a photo or description of your best design. I'd really like to take 5 or so of the most liked designs from you guys, build them, and make a video showcasing you, the survivors, raft designs. I think that could be a lot of fun and even give us all a better insight or an idea of what to create in Stranded Deep. I myself am working on a Frankenstein of a design here, as you can see right over here. Don't want to influence you, but yeah, it's pretty cool. But I can't wait to see yours. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want more videos like this, hit that bell icon set to all so you mostly never miss when new content is out. But in any case, just remember, we were late in the game, but better late than never. Thanks for watching, y'all. Have a great play.